everybody. Today we're going to be covering how to create a EC2 instance in AWS. So I've currently logged in to AWS. If you don't have an account, you'll need to create an account. All you need to do is go to aws.amazon.com. You go to sign in, and it'll take you to your dashboard. Again, you don't have an account yet. You'll need to create one. So right at the top of the dashboard, you can see you recently visited, and you can see that I've recently been to EC2. If you don't have it, you don't see it, you can always search it over here and click it, and it's going to take you to the EC2 platform. So you can see how many instances you have running up here, how many key pairs you have created, load balancers, just all the information around your different instances that you have and everything you got going on. So we got instances running. We can launch an instance right from here. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my running instances. So here you can see all the different ones you have running. This is a production level server for retail leaders. My use case currently is going to be to create a staging environment for this site. So to do that, I'm going to create a brand new server that we can then deploy our code to and test it before then deploying it to our production level. So I'm going to go ahead and click this launch instances. And the first thing we need to do when we're creating our new instance is to give it a name. So I'm going to call this one Leaders Staging. We then need to create what type of operating system we're going to be running on here. I want to run an Ubuntu server. I'd recommend this, but you can also use an AWS one or whichever flavor you really want to use. But I like to run these, and so we've got Ubuntu here. It's available for the eligible for the free tier, which is what we want. And so then we're just going to come over and select this top one. It's good enough for our use case, right? So we've selected the application and our operating system. Instance type, this is fine, eligible for the free tier. You can probably just leave this alone. You can look at all these different types of things they have, but again, we want the free. Key pair, so you can go ahead and look at your different key pairs here. I actually already created one. I'll click this create. What you're essentially going to do is you're going to enter in a name for your key pair. So just give it a name. You want to leave this RSA, and then based off of what you're going to use to SSH, you're either going to select the PM or PPK. I use PuTTY. I'm on a Windows system, so I chose PPK for the one I'm going to use. But this is essentially just creating the key that you'll need to SSH into the server that you're creating. So I'm going to use this retail leader staging key. I already created it, as I mentioned. So just create your key pair and move on. Next thing we need to do is create a security group. If you have an existing security group, you can already use it, but you probably don't if you're watching this video on how to create an EC2 instance. So we're going to leave it at create. Come down. We for sure want to allow the SSH traffic because we need to access that server. We're going to skip over adding HTTPS right now. There's more steps involved in allowing this. You need to create some SSL certificates and some certain configurations that we'll cover later on in another video. For right now, we're just going to allow HTTP traffic. So that way we can access our server from our local machine and like publish any code, and then we can also access it directly from the internet. So you can then see that site as a visitor. We're going to allow the anywhere. I know it gives us the alert here, but we're going to let that slide. You do need the key to SSH, and so there's really no worries there, and we can always change this later on if we want. So just leave it anywhere, check these two boxes, and then again, come back down. So now time for our storage. So we can probably just leave this alone. Again, I don't think we're going to exceed our needs with just the basic stuff. Free tier eligible, get up to 30 gigs. General purpose SSD. So let's see. Provision, general purpose. This is fine. We're just going to leave this as it is. Let's expand this advanced details, just look and see what's in there. We don't want to mess with any of this, right? We're just trying to create our instance. Leave that alone. And so from here, we're just going to come over. We want one instance launched. We're good to go. Let's click launch instance. Success, right? So we got a little message, launch log. You can look at billing alerts. Let's go ahead and view all of our instances. We can see this instance state is pending. This is our new instance. Go ahead and click into it, and we can actually see all the different information about our server. So we can see that it's running. We can see the public IP4 address. We can see the public IP4 address. We can see everything we really need to, all the information about it. So we're up and running. That's all there is to it. Next video, I'll cover how to SSH into this instance, and then I'll probably create a video on how to deploy your code to it, how to configure the instance to deploy a mean stack on there, some other things. But for general how to create the instance, this should get you covered and get you started, right? So thanks for listening, and I hope it was helpful.